Hello, welcome to O2's Inside Line, live from pitchside here at Twickenham after a 25-25 all draw against New Zealand. Knowlesy, I'm exhausted. Talk to us, mate. Talk to us about that game. What happened?
I'm exhausted watching at the end there, yeah. I honestly don't know. I think, a bit slow to start, a few penalties that we've been speaking about in the last couple of weeks, but we'll look at that. But what an unbelievable finish at the end there. We actually played a bit of rugby.
Just talk us through that. Is that the blueprint, that last 10 minutes, how this England rugby team want to play?
Yeah, 100%. I think, we're trying to do that in the game at the start, but, whether we're a bit timid, a bit off at the start, but, the way we performed at the end and the way we chucked the ball around a bit and the way we believed, I think is, exactly where we want to be.
Was it as ferocious as it looked?
Yeah, it definitely was.
How good to have the All Blacks back here and playing against them, facing the Hacker, and how good were the crowd today?
Crowd were unbelievable, and I think, especially towards the end when we, gave them something to cheer about, I think you could hear it. The Hacker at the start, unbelievable, the crowd were amazing and that, but to have them here, to perform the way the team did, it was a pretty special one.
Knowlesy, we're going to swap you out now. Who's next? Johnny Mays? Johnny
Short and
Mays
sharp,
coming in.
There you go,
Thank
John.
you, Jack.
Mate, you're free.
No, you could just walk away. Johnny,
Hello.
great to see you back in an England shirt. How good is it to be back in big games like this?
No, obviously Twickenham's such a special place to play. Thank you everybody at home and here today for watching what was a special game, a strange game to be honest, to be out there, but lads stuck at it and ended up with a result we're proud of.
How was the half-time talk? Was it calm? Was it clear messaging?
I'd say we were a bit frustrated. We had all the right intentions to start with a good intent and try and impose our game, but to be fair, I think we've got to give credit to the All Blacks in the way they came out. They were very clinical and played very well that first half.
In terms of the comeback, did you want the team to carry on and try and go for the win, or was it draw, like get this ball off, win, knackered?
To be honest, on the wing, that's beyond my pay grade really. You've probably got Eddie shouting messages and the halfbacks to decide
what would
about that.
you have wanted?
Well, I would have liked to have carried on if we were to win, but we were never to know. So it's on the lads who made that call, and I back them.
Johnny, you look quick out there. It's great to see you back, mate. If you could just swap in with Tom.
Yeah, I'll swap in with Tom.
Tom's looking cold.
Go, mate.
Tom Curry, another unbelievable shift from you. Firstly, how's the body after, was that second time you played the All Blacks?
Yeah, second time. And it doesn't get easier, especially against the All Blacks. I mean, the way we finished, we probably left a lot out. First half we probably left a lot out there. I think we properly emptied ourselves the last 10 minutes, and I think that's probably the frustrating bit, is we saw how much success we had in the last 10 minutes, and it's the way rugby goes, but we kind of wish we probably did that sooner.
What makes them so good? Like, in terms of what we see as the fans, what makes them so difficult to play?
They had a game plan. In terms of, well, it's a bit of an obvious statement, but they
had a game plan.
Shock. But no, they kicked to the width well. They found the space, and then when they got on top, they played short balls round the corner. And as forwards, we probably had to defend those better in the first half. They found a lot of momentum through there, and then when they moved it out wide, we probably caught a bit short. But I think credit to us, we reacted well second half.
I think you did. The comeback was absolutely epic. Yeah. How did it feel when the try started coming and you could see the points like building up?
Yeah, it's one of those, because you can't get ahead of yourself, but also we're playing good rugby. Like, we want to embrace that. You probably know all about it in terms of when you're on top, you're moving the ball, and it just felt to click into place, sort of thing. And it didn't feel like we were forcing it, and that's the best thing about it. Because you look at that and someone's like probably a little offload, but when you're on top and you're winning the collisions and everyone's on the same page, you can do stuff like that. And that's probably what hindered us the first half, is we weren't playing like that. We weren't attacking the line probably as well as we could have, which we showed the last 10.
The last 10, Tom, looked relentless. It looked high tempo.
Yeah.
Is that the way you're going to want to start what's next week? Obviously, South Africa coming to Twickenham. We know that challenge. Yeah. Is that going to be the way, what you'll talk about of how to start that game?
It's going to be a different test. We know they're going to be very structured in terms of their kicking game, and probably trying to get into that kicking contest a little bit more. But we'll touch on that later. We'll touch on that earlier in the week. But I think for us, it's more the mentality side of it. Like, we want to be going at teams, and especially when it's on, we want to be, you know, inside, outside, out the back, like have those options to be able to make good decisions, and I think that's when we're able to get on top of teams.
Tom, thank you for your time, mate. Go inside, get yourself warm, get an ice bath.
Well done, well played.
Thank you.
Tom Curry there. Three great
big old bloke, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a big old boy, isn't he? Interesting trainer choice he's gone for, if we can maybe have a look at that. Not the greatest swag from Tom Curry here, but, you know, he has just played 80 minutes against one of the best teams in the world. Nolly, give us your overview of the whole game, because for 70 minutes, Johnny, don't walk in front of the camera, or do, perfect. For 70 minutes, it wasn't amazing, but that last 10 has given everybody probably so much hope and belief for this England team.
Yeah, it's really interesting because Tom talked about how it just seemed to click, and we've both been in teams where you feel that, and unfortunately that was all about New Zealand in the first half, and there was lots of frustrating moments. But saying that, the number of times that England got so close to the line, you know, you've got to credit the New Zealand defence getting over the ball, getting the turnovers, but England created a lot of opportunities. So at this point in a World Cup season, it's pretty good. The fact that they then managed to shift it in the last 10 is probably even is as a player the confidence you want.
I think there'll be some great confidence shown in the comeback, and we're going to have a look at a couple of the tries that got England back into the game. This is the Freddie Stewart one. You'd have been proud of this little short side attack, wouldn't you? Yeah,
the speed of the ball from the floor, I think Ben Youngs, and it's the outside arc from Stewart. I mean, he's such a big bloke, and you've played against him. For legs that long, he still manages to build up speed pretty quickly.
It's not fair. He shouldn't be allowed to play in the backs, I don't think. I think there should be a height restriction, because he's like a gazelle. Let's talk about another big lad. Will Stewart comes off the bench as tight end reserve prop and scores 2 tries. Great build-up play from England to start with here, and then it's all about momentum and playing on top, isn't it, here, Noel?
Yeah, fantastic carry from Henry Slade, and it's the speed of the ball from the breakdown, the clear-outs. New Zealand have been such pests all game. They were turning it over for fun at times with England, and I think this is the moment where England have been knocking on the door a lot in the first half. Didn't get the points, but that's a big carry, big collision, and good skills to dot it down when there was 2 defenders in front of him.
Simple rugby sometimes. Big men run at the little men, and you probably will score. And Will Stewart there runs over the 10 for New Zealand. So there we go. Nolly, wrap it up now for us. In a nutshell, how will England be feeling about that game, and what can they have big confidence for next week going into South Africa?
I think that New Zealand came absolutely firing out the blocks. England are going to be frustrated with a lot of the errors, because actually they built up the pressure, and then it was relieved by a New Zealand turnover at the breakdown. So I think there's loads of positives, but the analysis will be a little bit painful in terms of just frustrating mistakes. For me, the fact that the crowd in Twickenham Stadium got behind him, and the lights and the noise and the energy was brilliant. And look, how does it feel as a player to have that, knowing that next week South Africa are in town?
The atmosphere was amazing. Nolly, you were amazing.
You were. You were
incredible. Thank you all so much for joining in to O2 Inside Line live here at Twickenham. Make sure you tune in next week for the big one, South Africa coming to Twickenham.